Hi and welcome. My name is Lily and today we're going to be talking about Edward and Amelia by Karen Thornell. If you're into Regency romance novels, then this video is perfect for you. So let's travel back in time. As always, we'll start with the bullet points, then move on to the author and the summary, and at the end I'll give you my impression and the conclusion of this book. Edward and Amelia by Karen Thornell is a Regency romance novel for readers 14+. It was published in June 22 by Covenant Communications and has 309 pages. The reading time is around 6 hours. A similar book is A Proper Scandal by Esther Hatch. This to the facts, let's move on to the author. The US author Karen Thornell was born as the second of 6 children. The night owl actually never wanted to become a writer, but has always been an avid reader. She's been married since 2014 and lives with her husband and their 3 children in Utah. Before she became a writer in the genres Regency or Sweet Romance in 2019, she studied dance and humanities at BIU. She's also a degree in family studies and is a certified prep instructor. Before writing became more elaborate, she was also a photographer. Since 2019, she's written 5 books. Karen Thornell likes to spend her weekends exploring the mountains with her husband or playing board games with their big families and having her mind circling around her books and characters. Karen Thornell is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and she loves to eat pasta and cheese and ice cream, and she hates conflicts. Yeah, that's about everything I've learned about her, so now let's move on to the summary of the story. We follow Amelia as she's about to embark on her first London season. She is the youngest of Lord Kennington's 3 daughters. Her 2 older twin sisters are also not yet married, but unlike them, Amelia is not at all looking forward to being introduced into aristocratic society. She has always been a little different from girls and young women of her status, loved her freedoms at the country estate, and feels hemmed in, uncomfortable and inexperienced with the pitfalls of this society and its many occasions. Nevertheless, she has to keep a good face. Also, her relationship with her 2 sisters, especially the one with the imperious Edith, is anything but good. Amelia feels like the black sheep of the family, and the mischievous Edith never tires of pitying her because of the scars on her neck. According to Edith, a great flaw and obstacle in finding a suitable suitor and future husband. After another argument with her sisters, Amelia wants to get some air, and she sneaks out of their London house for a walk without her maid, which is not at all proper for a lady of her rank. And when she's found in an unintentional compromising situation with Edward Drayton, the Earl of Norwich, who is notorious for being a womanizer, the scandal is perfect and the 2 are forced to marry. Amelia harbors an inner dislike for the man whom she only knows by reputation and whom she finds extremely superficial. But this is also an unusual and challenging situation for the attractive lord, who has always had women at his feet. And he tries very hard for the unconventional Amelia, who is so different from any woman before. She is not lulled by his nonchalant compliments and not afraid to tell him directly what she thinks of them. And then Amelia is humiliated when she sees him in the company of other women and the talk of the society. Additionally, Edith lets her know that she has cast a shadow on the good name of the family. But contrary to all expectations, the 2 gradually get closer, realizing bit by bit who they have actually married. And what they discover behind the facade is a completely different person, one they begin to appreciate and love. But the gossip and intrigues of the society, well-kept secrets, as well as the unbelievable jealousy of Amelia's oldest sister Edith, who wants to destroy their happiness with a devious plan, all these things put their budding love to an insanely hard test and threaten to tear the delicate bond of love. And now they have to fight tooth and nail to find out if their love can defy these odds. That's to the summary of the story. Let's move on to my impression. I like the sensitive narration by Karen Thornell and the slow build-up of this love, taking into account the social behavior of the time. This and the plot location were very vividly portrayed. I found myself traveling back in time to an unfamiliar world of the English aristocracy around 1800, where everything, and especially love, was much more complicated. Whereas it's not much simpler today either. In this story we get a happy development with quite a lot of romance, which was probably rather a rarity back then. Marriage was not for love. Much more, marriages within the nobility were planned with calculation to preserve status, title and property, and as in this book, women did not have much to say in the matter. Speaking of talking, the author effortlessly managed to translate the old language into a way of speaking I could understand and was fluid. The basics of romance are followed, but this makes the course of the story predictable. What I liked is that we find here a very well worked out conflict with clear antagonists, the norms of the aristocracy, Sister Edith, Miss Brooks, and agonists. Here I especially liked Edward's two honorary aunts, Lady Cromwell and Lady Anderson. With the father I would have liked an earlier intervention, and I found Sister Henrietta a bit lukewarm and uninteresting. I found both main characters endearing and believably portrayed. There was a great chemistry between them, and I really enjoyed the intimate moments like the scene at the piano. To Edward's character, I love how his facade was peeled away and how his true character was revealed underneath, how insecure he was at heart, naked. He has his heart in the right place, but was pretty clumsy at ensnaring Amelia. Fortunately, she saw his development and gave him a chance. Amelia, on the other hand, was genuine from the beginning. She never allowed herself to be bent, and I admired her long suffering with that mischievous Edith. Here I found it a bit unbelievable how submissive she behaved towards Edith, since she managed to be confident in the presence of Edward in a situation that was completely foreign for her after all. And I think there was kind of a break in Amelia's character. It annoyed me quite a bit how long Amelia endured everything until she got behind Edith's intrigues, how she even enabled them, and the miserably long time it took to finally confront her. In my opinion, this confrontation between the two sisters was too weak. I would have wondered how Edith felt when her true character came to light. How was her behavior in the family circle, but also that in society? I found Edith's character rather overdrawn because of this, with too much influence without counter and without a satisfying ending for me as a reader, but also for Amelia and Edward. I felt they deserved more satisfaction. The author here continued to stick with the two main characters, who in return got a romantic happy ending. Yeah, and with that I end my impression too, and would like to give you my conclusion. Who would I recommend this book to? I think mainly to a female readership who like a lot of romance and a happy ending. It's actually a classic Cinderella story with... Let me introduce you to someone, then we get to the conclusion. This is Leia. She is a Shih Tzu and 5 months old, and she wanted to say hi to you too. That's why she was barking. Yeah, now let's finish the video. Bye. Where was I? Conclusion. I think it's a classic Cinderella story suitable for readers who like Regency or Victorian era stories. In this book we get a realistic glimpse of the past and a society that, at least to me, is completely foreign. It's a story about two people who have to find each other in a forced situation, in a forced marriage. It's a story about gossip, rumors and bullying. Would I read another book by Karen Thornell? Yes, I would. How about you? Do you like Regency romance novels or do you prefer more contemporary romance? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really curious. Yeah, here we are again at the end. If you like this video, don't hesitate and hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and hope to see you soon. Bye.